I'm really excited to get back in the cage. You know, it's been actually almost a year. My last fight was with you guys actually last October. So it'll be just a little bit short of a year for me since I've been back in the cage. So I'm excited, and I feel like I've progressed a lot and come a long way since then in that short time. Man, I'm excited to get back in there. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I get to showcase that I've kind of been working on, and you know, holes in my game I feel that I've kind of worked on and bettered and improved. So yeah, I'm excited to get back in there. The Ty's 8-3, which is, yeah, that's a big record. I'm 3-2, so you know, his record outshines mine. Even Nick Reale had, you know, what was he like? He was like 15 and something. So even my last opponent had a lot of fights on me, and he had a lot more numbers on his belt than I did. And that does mean something. Experience always means something, but it doesn't mean everything. And yeah, at first when I saw 8-3, I was like, oh man, like what am I getting myself into? But I checked him out, and you know, he looks like a tough guy. He looks very strong. I think he's coming down from 185, and I'm coming up from 155. So the size will be a difference, and that's okay. I think I've got the reach and I've got the length and some speed and stuff. So we'll see how it plays out. But you know, as far as his wins, you know, who you fight and who you got the win from makes a difference as well. It's not just about the number. So I checked out his fights, and he's got a lot of wins with some guys that didn't have a lot of experience, which, you know, that means something, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't necessarily take anything away from him, but at the same time, it's something to be aware of and look at and take into consideration when you're looking at the record. I'm in that transition of moving from 155 to 170, and so I'm kind of in a middle ground right now. As you know, I requested a catchweight fight at 65, and you know, we weren't able to get that, but you know, that's just part of the game, and you got to fight, you know, at what you got to fight at, and that's fine. So I'm moving up to 170. My original plan was to get my body up to a solid 190 and make a 20-pound cut to 170, which is you know, pretty reasonable. I've been making the 25-pound cut to 155 from 180. So a 20-pound cut to 70 would have been perfect. Right now I'm not that heavy, and that's okay. So right now I'm in a middle ground. So I'm making the transition to 170. So right now I'm not where I want to be ideally. Planning on being there next fight. But right now, you know, I'm making the transition. I'm moving up to 170. So you know, I just gotta stick with it, and it'll be a good debut at 170 for me. It's the reason I'm moving up. I feel like I'm in a transition period where my body wants to grow, my body wants to build, and I kind of just felt that after my last fight at 55, where my body just kind of wants to put on weight, it wants to put on muscle, and so the 55-pound cut would have been a little harder for me, and I would prefer to build my body up to there anyway. So even though I'm not necessarily where I would want to be ideally to fight at 170, I would prefer to just fight at 170 and not have to put my body through making 55 in order to better transition me up to that weight class. I've got four teammates in here that are fighting on the same card, and all good guys. You know, we've even got, you know, EJ, of course, who's fighting UFC now, his third UFC fight coming up really soon, and just really great training partners. So for me, you know, and some are heavier, some are lighter. So as far as the weight, you know, the weight makes a difference. It gives you a strength advantage, it gives you a size advantage, and so it plays a role. It has its own benefits, but it doesn't mean everything. So even though I'm not at my ideal weight, I still feel confident in my skill. I still feel confident in my strength, even, and my speed and other things that play a huge role as well in giving you an advantage and all that. So yeah, man, training partners have just been awesome. All of our classes have been great. We're just all here to help each other and work together, and the fact that we're all getting ready for fights just gives us that competitive edge. You know, like Christian mentioned, we're all peaking, we're all building together, and so we're all kind of helping each other help each other, and so that mutual training and helping each other out is just it's tremendous for our training. It's a good thing. Yeah, so I said it before, and yeah, I'll say it again. Like, man, God's a warrior, and so I fully believe and feel confident. Again, God's called me back to MMA, and there's no conflict with that within me. You know, he's backing me up and supporting me, and he's called me into the world of MMA for a reason. And man, it's an empowering thing to to be backed up by God and know that you're where you belong, and know that it's what He wants for your life. And so yeah, and as far as the support from my church, you know, a lot of my friends and a lot of my community that I've built since I've moved down here has been with my church, and I have amazing support from them. A lot of my best friends and closest relationships are with people from my church, and not all of them, but a lot of them. And so I have a huge, you know, friendship and relationship with them, and so much support from them. The majority of the people that will be attending October 10th and have in the past are from my church. So it's just awesome to have that kind of support from them too. Pastors are there, man. Pastor Bob and John and Pastor James and Joel, man. Those guys all come out, man. They're so supportive and they love it. They have a great time. So it's cool to have that kind of support, and you know, from people that I look up to and respect and feel close to. It's cool to have them come out and have a good time, and it's awesome. None of my fans or supporters who have come to watch me have left disappointed. They've always enjoyed it. They said they've always had a great time, and they've always wanted to come back. So for some of my fans, yeah, it was their first time coming to an MMA fight, coming to a venue like that. So it was a new experience for them. But the fact that I was in there, it was just kind of surreal to them that they were watching me in that cage fight. And I actually have had a lot of people who didn't know anything about MMA or didn't know what to think about MMA, a lot of friends who now they're MMA fans because they came and watched me. So it's cool to be able to be a part of introducing people into that, and they've always enjoyed. So my last 2 fights, I've had a big, huge fan base come, and for a lot of them it was their first time. So and they all enjoyed it. They said they all had a great time, and they'll be returning on October 10th. Focus is the fight, man. Yeah, it's coming up soon, October 10th. You know, we're up to close to a month now, so you know, diet, sleep, you know, my whole schedule and training routine is all focused on just prepping for this fight, working on, you know, last minute things, and just building my body up, you know, to where I would want to be ideally. So yeah, I'm just focusing on that. Obviously, I have a lot of other things that I'm doing as well, but they're not distractions. They're just other things that, you know, everyone's got their jobs. Everyone, you know, you can't just only focus on training and nothing else. Some people maybe, but you know, for me, I still have other things. I'm investing into a lot of people in my church. I'm a youth leader, so I have, you know, boys that I'm building relationships with and stuff. But again, those things aren't distractions to me. Those are just things that I'm able to do on top. And you know, even those things help, because if you're just so focused on the fight all the time, I think that can work against you sometimes. If you're not thinking about anything else but the fight, it can get your nerves going, get your adrenaline going, and kind of just drain you mentally, drain you physically. So for me, I'm focused on the fight where I need to be, but I'm not too focused on it to where it's draining me or you know, making me suffer in any way. So I'm ready, man. I'm training hard, I'm getting ready, and I feel confident that I'm going to come out with a win on October 10th. Always shout outs to, you know, my teammates, my coaches, Giuliano, Adriano, you know, teammates Christian, EJ. You know, been working with these guys for years now, and obviously I wouldn't be the fighter I am today, or you know, have the opportunity to fight with you guys if it weren't for them. And you know, they've been the biggest, if not the only part of, you know, making me and developing me as a fighter. And you know, I think we all just help each other out. So huge shout out to my gym, Total MMA Studios, and obviously my family. Again, you know, I wouldn't be the person that I am if it weren't for them, and my parents and how they raised me, and just the support that they've given me ever since I was, you know, born, and even since I've been a fighter in MMA. They've just been nothing but supportive and helping me in any way that they can. And obviously, you know, my friends and family at my church, the community that I've built there, developing me and who I am today, and just growing spiritually and as a person, and just building my maturity in that, and just having the support that I have from them is huge. So huge shout out to my friends and family and community there. No fighter could do what they do without the help and support from its sponsors. So I'd like to give a huge shout out to Acai Republic, Franchise Customs, VersaClimber, MMA and Conditioning Associations, SQAsquare.com, and everyonelovesex.org. Thank you guys very much. Come out and support me October 10th, Badbeat 13, Commerce Casino. It's going to be an awesome night of fights.